Hey, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, then hi, my name is Erica. Please excuse that my microphone is a little tangled up. Hopefully it still works. But today I'm going to be talking about, so Netflix recently released a series about Jeffrey Dahmer. It's called like Dahmer Monster, something like that. It's a whole mess. I watched half of the first episode, but it just felt very icky. And I know people are gonna watch this and be like, well, it's a show about a serial killer. It's not supposed to give you warm, fuzzy feelings. But what I mean by icky is it felt very exploitative, like towards the victims. And it felt like it was almost sympathizing with who is supposed to be the villain of this story. And I know it's not really a story because it's based on real life events, but yeah. So sorry if I'm looking down because I'm gonna read an article because I saw that one of the victims' relatives has actually spoken out against this series and has said that they don't approve of it and they feel like it's exploitative. So the show is actually called Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer story. So first, I'm going to read an article that is in the Los Angeles Times. And of course, I'm not going to read the whole thing because I'm not allowed to because of copyright reasons. So I will link it in the description of the video so that you can read it on your own if you choose to. But this reads, Ryan Murphy, and if you don't know who Ryan Murphy is, he also created American Horror Story, which Evan Peters, who played Jeffrey Dahmer, he was in a lot of seasons of American Horror Story. I'm sure a lot of people are aware of that, but just in case somebody is not. But it says here, Ryan Murphy and Ian Brennan's Dahmer Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer story starring Evan Peters as the notorious Milwaukee serial killer, has already broken Netflix's worldwide record for a series debut in its opening week, according to the streamer, but it sparked a controversy in the process. Set off last week in a viral Twitter thread by Eric Perry, a relative of Dahmer victim Hiral Lindsay. I really hope I'm saying that right. The series has been accused of profiting off of the trauma suffered by those Dahmer murdered, many LGBTQ plus people of color and those who survived them. Unfortunately, a lot of the comments I've received about the series have said we should be grateful this story is being told. Well, that's a really shitty thing to say to somebody who has lost a loved one to a serial killer or has lost a loved one in any way. Harry, 33, tells the Times, I want people to understand this is not just a story or historical fact. These are real people's lives, which, yeah, it is. Lindsay was someone's son, someone's brother, someone's father, someone's friend that was ripped out, that was ripped from our lives. And then, he said, I think social media and Netflix combined with a big name producer and actors really amplified Jeffrey Dahmer more than I've ever noticed it before. Dahmer has never been a meme before, he said. They're all one traumatic event away from the worst day of your life. Of your life being reduced to your neighbor's favorite binge show. And most importantly, if you're going to create something that uses real life people and experiences, you should at minimum contact those people out of respect. So wow, according to this, people who are loved ones of the victim were not even contacted that this show was being made. That is another level of fucked up. But oh no, my microphone came off. But so I'm gonna hold it like this. But the reason why I'm talking about this today is because I think this shows a bigger issue. Our obsession with true crime has reached a new level. I am someone who does watch a lot of true crime. I watch documentaries, I listen to podcasts, I read books, I watch YouTube videos. I just consume a lot of true crime. And I'm not on my moral high horse here, but over the last few years, I've become more selective with the true crime content I consume because I don't want these stories to become my source of entertainment that desensitizes me. I want to actually know about the victims and to kind of memorialize them in the best way possible. So I try to listen and watch stuff that is more victim focused. A lot of times will be created or at least created with the family members of the victims. I listen to a lot of podcasts with Sarah Turney, whose own sister, Alyssa Turney, went missing and is thought to have been killed by her father, which is really, really upsetting. But the reason I'm making this video is not to shame people that watched the Jeffrey Dahmer series, but is to make people more aware that the content we create, the content we consume, when it's based on real events, it affects real people. So I think we should all try to be as mindful as we possibly can of that fact, and to try to seek out content that is made with sensitivity to those affected by something. I'm really disappointed in like Ryan Murphy and Evan Peters and just basically everybody involved in this project. I feel like it's not art, it's exploitation at this point, especially since movies about Jeffrey Dahmer have been so overdone at this point. If you saw that god-awful movie years ago with Ross Lynch, I think it's called My Friend Dahmer, that movie was terrible. It was about Jeffrey Dahmer before he became a serial killer, but it was just a really bad movie. I would not recommend watching that or this Jeffrey Dahmer series. But anyway, I think it's been overdone, especially when there are so many true crime cases that don't get coverage, particularly true crime stories that affect Black women and indigenous women. A lot of those stories go untold and unnoticed and ignored by the media. And I really think those stories need to be amplified, and we need to stop sensationalizing stories and glorifying serial killers. Yeah, I'm gonna hop off my soapbox now. I hope you gained something from this video. I'm trying to figure out how I can turn my camera off without dropping my microphone. But anyway, I hope you gained something from this video, and if you did, please give it a big thumbs up, because that really helps the algorithm push out this video to other people. And thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye.